You were speaking about the importance on letting the other one to serve. And there are many women, husbands and wives, they don't know how to ask the other. And I would like you to give them this hint. The hint on asking. So simple, isn't it? But for so many people, it's like to find gunpowder.
Yes, because sometimes you want the other person to guess. And I remember that I wanted Renato to guess. And in my head, it was so obvious that it needed to be done. For me, it was very obvious. I am here full of bags, and it's obvious that I need help. So I looked at him, and he was just like... And I would do... And when he noticed, he used to go in, I used to complain. I say, finally. And one day, I came to the conclusion that Renato is different than me. That we have these differences, and it's a difference that it's very punctual. That men, they don't see details, they don't notice details. They just see, just the surface. But we women, we see the details. We feel the pain of the other person. If I see another woman holding bags, I would help the other woman because I saw that she's really feeling the pain because it's very heavy, those bags she's carrying. But it's not many cases of many men like Renato. So I came to this conclusion that I used to get irritated for no reason. So I said to myself, why? Why get irritated for no reason? I like to be practical. So I said, one thing, I'm going to ask. Next time that this happens, I'm going to ask. So I was there with the bags. Renato, yes. Can you carry this for me? And he would carry it. There was no problem. Finished. So if
Men,
I want anything...
Sorry, men need instructions.
Not
Isn't
all,
it?
not all.
Sometimes
But most of them.
the part that she didn't tell, me being a very busy man, focused,
Yes.
very stressed, with a lot of problems, trying to solve them, so I'm not paying attention to her bag. But if she says, can you give me a hand? On the spot.
I even want him to praise me. I dress myself up, and he doesn't say anything. So I say, oh, Renato, did you like it? Because I'm tired of thinking he's going to say, and he never says anything. So sometimes it's to work together. My husband, he doesn't notice a lot. He forgets to buy a present. He doesn't plan anything.
You're being hard on me today, very hard.
You told me for me to speak. You told me for me to speak, so I'm speaking.
If it's to help, so you
I
can
don't say this with hatred. No, we just take it in a good way. Because we understand. He has a life that is very light because I understand him, with our differences. And we adjust to each other. So my husband, he wants me to say it, for me to ask. For me to ask, do you love me? And that's it. What's the problem of you asking? Because I saw, if this is irritating me, what can I do to help my husband? To resolve the situation, for us not to have this problem. So we adjust to each other. Oh, but I wanted him to have the initiative. But he doesn't have.
If he loved me, he would see it.
But he loves. He loves. He has proved many times that he loves. But he's not going to prove his love to you in that way. So I prove my love when I am understanding with him, when I understand him. When I see that he has this deficiency, let me help him.
Look,
You asked for it, and I'm speaking.
it's true. But also, you have to tell them that it's not always like that. That sometimes I notice the bags, sometimes I give a compliment out of my own free
Yes.
will.
I trained him very well.
Yeah, you have been training me well. But what she's trying to say is that sometimes we expect the other to realize, to catch what we want them to do, and they don't catch it. But it's not for a bad intention, but simply, sometimes it's just a deficiency, it's a lack of attention or focus, etc. But the problem is not that. The problem is you to make out of this a problem. So if it solves for you to ask, and the other with a goodwill to come and attend to your request, problem solved. You see that even God in His Word, He says that He already knows what we're gonna ask, He already knows what we need, but Him also as a man, the greatest proof that God is a man, not a woman, is that He says, ask, ask, and I will give. He already knows it, but He wants to listen to you asking. Isn't that it?
Sometimes I say, Renato, please fix the bed. Just for him to serve me as well.
You already understood how things goes. That's it. So this understanding, the two are one, this changes your marriage. It changes your way of reacting at home with your partner. And I know that maybe you who are in a marriage, how can I say, turbulent, you cannot see how this can solve your problem now, especially if the relationship is very much to one side. Only you want to change, only you want to get better. The other is with a frown, vengeful. You think that it's not going to work if only one does. It's what you think, but it's not what happens in practice. You have to make out of serving, not with faith upon the person, that the person will recognize you and serve you back. No, you have to do this with faith in the Word of God, the words that promises to give and shall be given back to you. The way you give is the way you receive. So when you are obeying God, and not because you're expecting, for example, you gave with one hand and the other is already expecting to receive. If you do that, you're going to be frustrated. But if you do this with faith in God, then God will honor your faith because you are obeying His word. You're not saying like this, oh, I playing the role of a fool. I do everything and he does nothing. If you do with this spirit, it's not going to work. But if you do with this spirit, my God, I will obey your word. You told me to do it and I believe that it's going to work. I believe. Now, my Father, for you to change this person, this little person, only you, Lord. So I'm going to do because you are saying, I believe in you. So when you do the best, like you are doing for God, treating your partner as you treat yourself, then God sees your faith and Himself puts His hands on the conscience of the other person and makes the other person to see what they couldn't see up until the moment.
Did you like this? Would you like to hear it again? Listen to it as many times as you need until this content becomes part of you. Don't forget to leave your like, comment, and share. See you next time.